Hi everyone, my name is Wayna and I'm the founder of Mockmate. I wanted to tell a little bit about our story, how we started, reasons why we failed. I gave this Google multiple times at Google, and I just wanted to make it available to the greater public. I think it can be useful for entrepreneurs that are getting started. So a little bit about me. My name is Wayna. I currently work at Google with startups on the cloud. So I help startups basically scale their products and make the best out of our cloud products. I'm also the founder of Mockmate, techstars 21 company, and I have an MBA from ESA Business School. Fun thing about me, I created a nasty consultant video game. So for those who have interviewed for consulting, you have like the case interview, and the topics are usually pretty bland and boring. So I wanted to do something fun, so I created this cool video game. I'll put the link in the comments. I think you'll like it. So Mockmate got started in 2020 when I was in my MBA, and as I mentioned, lots of people wanted a job in consulting. And in order to do that, you have to practice interviews a lot. And the way we did it at business school was to do mock interviews with peers. The thing is that you always need someone. You cannot exercise yourself. And I thought there was a gap here. And so I decided to create a little platform to allow people to interview and practice and get the surprise effect of questions. So I created a very small iteration. The first was really a space bar, question generating platform, shared it with peer, got user feedback, and then started using and adding more features like input, answer analysis, and things like that. And then later on, once we got a little bit of funding, I took it the extra level, redesigned the thing, included video analysis, and add a little bit more intelligence to the analysis. So that's basically kind of the route we took technically. One little fun side story is that I designed the logo myself. So it was Mockmate with a little tie for the T. And early enough, the female audience, our female users, were a little bit put off because the tie means, it's a man product, it's a man accessory. And, I didn't realize that. And so obviously we changed it and made it a little bit more inclusive. But that was a very interesting thing that happened and made me really understand that the audience is really for everyone. So this is the version 1.0. Still scrappy and flashy colors and not super well designed, but the main things were there. It was only microphone at the time and typing, and this was what the answer analysis looked like. So you see scoring, a little bit of content, but not too much. And this is what the 2.0 looked like. So we incorporated video. The UX was a little bit nicer. And then the analysis was also a little bit more strong and exhaustive. Another cool thing that we did, and we really had a great community of job seekers basically on the platform. We created a meme account on Instagram. So at the beginning, I was created all of these memes, and it was really fun. We did an April Fool's, LinkedIn acquisition info. It was pretty fun. It worked really well. So humor really gets people together, I suppose, and it really worked out for us. At the time, we had around 7,000 followers on this account, all organic. So it was really interesting as a marketing tool. Another subject I had for you today was basically at the time we had to choose. Or at the time we were looking for money as a first pre-seed. We had two options. One was Techstars and the other one was Angels. The Techstars was offering 120K and then a network, an accelerator, a follow-up, and opening doors. And the agents would give us much more money, but none of the other things. So it was a really, really difficult decision because we were talking, more than double the money. But eventually I decided to go with Techstars because of the network, because of the prestige. I thought, we'd be able to find investors, we'd be able to find clients through Techstars. Yeah. So in hindsight, it wasn't probably the best decision because we ran out of money quite quickly. But yeah, at the time, I thought it was the best decision. Made lots of friendships, met lots of different people. So it was a positive experience. But for the business, maybe the money would have been better. So as you understood, we failed. I kept Mockmate alive for about 2.5 years. The platform's still on. We still have about between 500 and 1,000 users every week. I just don't want to kill it. And, it's useful for a lot of people. They still use it to practice. So as long as, I have the money to leave it there, I will. But so the reasons why we failed, and I want to make a more detailed videos about, precisely this, but in short, it was long sales cycles. So, we were trying to sell to universities and companies, and yeah, their sales cycles can be very long. And so, every month you have, your runway gets shorter and shorter until eventually, you run out of it. So long sales cycles was one of our biggest enemy. We had a weak product, so it looked okay, but the intelligence in it was not, cutting edge. So it was also mostly rule-based and not really AI, even though we had like some AI libraries. I think nowadays with Gen AI, maybe we could have tweaked something, but at the time, it wasn't really that possible. And also, to find product market fit was quite difficult with a weak product that couldn't really address all the niches we tried to address. So that was it. Also, yeah, I wanted to touch a little bit on the integrations because lots of people want you to integrate with their existing platform. This can be costly. Didn't really have the know-how, and that's also probably a mistake in hindsight not to have focused on that. But most of it can be traduced with not enough money. I think, we try to experiment, we try to find product market fit, and it takes a while. And so we experimented, and eventually we ran out of money before we could actually find product market fit. I think eventually we might have, but didn't have the runway to really figure it out. And then finally, I think Techstars was really time consuming at a time where it was crucial for us to focus on the business. We had to attend lots of workshops, and it might have been a little bit early actually to join Techstars. The team was small, and maybe we didn't have the resources to actually focus on the business and actually also focus on the accelerator. But let's move on to the topic of today. So let's talk about the money. I want to first explain the amount of money I put into the product. So the version 0, that was the spacebar question generating application, was just a Flask app on Heroku. It was fully free. It was done by myself. For version 1, it's the one you saw with the flashy colors and the very basic features. I hired a developer on Upwork with fixed projects where I designed the scope and the specs and everything that I wanted the app to do. And this was about 650 euros. And then basically, after that, when we remodeled the design and I had many more features. So you saw the video and the more extended intelligent analysis. But at some point, we also added a job board allowing companies to post jobs, to interview candidates directly. That was the direction we were taking. So including all of that, we were spending about 2.5K a month. And so all in all, we probably put somewhere around 25,000 to arrive to the final product that is available on the platform now. I worked with an agency at some point. but I was really disappointed, and I didn't feel that my money was really well spent. So I went back to managing the developers myself. So that was quite a tough experience, but it was incredible to manage the developers myself. It was really nice, be my own product manager. Yeah, so for marketing, it was very easy as well. So initially we were targeting job seekers. So I spent $1 a day, and we had like amazing traffic. And I was targeting worldwide, so I had lots of, cheap traffic, but traffic nonetheless. It helped me improve the product greatly because I put some product analysis and usage capture systems, so I could see what my users were doing, how long they were on the platform, which buttons they were clicking, and this type of stuff. So it was really great for experimenting. And then once I raised a little bit more money and I had more traffic, I basically had an Upwork person managing the Google Analytics, and I also started outsourcing the Instagram meme generating, but that was about 8 to 10 euros a day, I would say. And then when version 3 came out with the job board, and towards the end of Techstars, we invested about 100 a day for probably a month or two, just to drive traffic, to inflate a little bit of numbers, and to really kind of show a little bit of volume when we were talking to VCs. So the total amount I spent, or we spent, between November 2019 and September 2022 was about 150. So I put my own money, I raised some money from family, fools, and friends, and then Techstars money was 120K. So again, the $1 million question, how to find it, and this is my advice. So the people are crucial to this happening. I would have not been able to, get started without the 15K I received from friends and family. And I know it's extremely awkward and, can be intimidating to ask for money. And you don't want to create those type of relationships also. But let's think about the other way around, right? Like if one of your friends created TikTok and then later on becomes a unicorn, how would you feel if they didn't give you the opportunity to invest in you, or to invest in them? So you see, it has both sides. And if you really believe in your idea, your friends will be supportive, and I think it can be a great source of satisfaction and even improve relationships. But you should definitely consider it before anything else. So the second thing is angels and angel funds. Basically, angels I found by talking to people and get referrals. So it's really like finding a rich person, talking to them, explaining the product, maybe do a little demo, explaining your amazing business plan and how you're gonna take over the world, and ask for money. And if they say no, don't forget to ask if they know another person who might be interested, and then have these calls like pretty regularly. You can randomly contact people on LinkedIn and on the different databases. It's totally okay, and they're looking for opportunities. So also don't be afraid to contact people. It's their job, like they're looking to invest money. So if your offer is compelling enough, like they will definitely meet you, and they'll be interested to hear from you. So yeah, that's my advice for angels. For accelerators, I would encourage you to consider only the big ones: Y Combinator, Techstars, Station F. There's plenty of others that are legit and very well regarded, but you have lots and lots of scams as well that take a little bit of money from you. promising, crazy investments and things like that. So I wouldn't pay to get into any accelerator. So that's for sure. So if they start asking you for money, like that's a good sign that they are not really serious. And then I would also try to talk to as many people possible that went through the accelerator to get the experience. Yeah, so for sure you can consider them, and some of them are really good. Make sure you make your due diligence and that you don't give them any money. And then finally, VCs. Initially, we started talking to VCs. We're starting to fill all these forms and try to get in contact and get this money. But in a pre-seed environment, like, it's almost impossible. Like, VCs will never invest in you. You can go for seed and still might be rejected. Most VC require really strong KPIs like MRRs and ARR and monetization and things like that, which obviously you don't have when you just start, or most people that just don't have. So I wouldn't even waste my time. So yeah, I know it's attractive, and I know you can go on the website and you can fill all these forms, and some of them want even to meet you. But you also have to know that the VCs, they have KPIs on meeting startups. So VC analysts, they need to meet X number of startups per week. So they will agree to the meeting, but they will not invest. And so basically you're giving them your time, and they can check a box, but they will never consider a company in early stage. So I wouldn't waste my time. I'd focus on angels, accelerators, and people So don't forget that most cloud companies have credit programs. So for example, at Google, we have a 2K program over 2 years for startups that haven't received any money yet, and then 100K for 12 months, and 20% off in year 2, plus lots of other benefits, support, meeting engineers that can really help you scale your company. So you can go to this link and apply, and you will receive the credits. I think it's a great way to decrease, or let's say increase, your runway, and make sure that you choose the supplier that you're really most comfortable with. But yeah, if you have any question about that as well, happy to talk. And here's the most important slide, screenshotted. Really, this is extremely important. It's to build in public. So I mentioned earlier, you're going to have a lot of phone calls with angels, rich people, professors, or any people that are supportive of you, that are giving you advice, and that are basically your champions. You have to get all these people into a mailing list and update them monthly about your progress. And this is very, they won't reply, but for sure they will read it. And they will see what you're doing, right? One of the person I contacted said, yeah, I've been following you, and most people, they talk about an idea, and then 3 months later you never hear from them. But thanks to this, I could see your evolution, the number of users, the challenges you face, and it makes it really like a story, right? So I think this is great. But the most important reason why you need to do this, it's because the moment you're gonna look for money, they'll be ready. They'll see how hardworking you are. They'll see how entrepreneurial and how creative you're running your company. And the moment you go and you ask for money, they'll have a full history of your company, of what you're doing. And this is crucial to convince them to give you the money. If you arrive out of the blue and ask for some investment, the answer you will get will be no. But if you build this every month, it builds a story, it makes you look much more serious, and yeah, we'll get the whole money asking much easier. So I'll also put a template in the comments. I'll try to put a lot of links and useful stuff there, so you can use that and start doing it like as soon as possible. So I have an investor database and some tools for startups that were super useful for me, that I tend to share with all the startups as well. But basically, the top two databases for finding VCs and angels and basically startup money, it's grid.io and openvc.app. If you're currently trying to raise money, I would definitely have a look at those. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Let me know in the comment if you have any questions. You can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. Happy to answer any question. As I said, I'm gonna probably do another video about why we failed and get a little bit more into the product market fit challenges we had. But yeah, see you soon. Thanks for watching, and bye.